are some kids that have difficulty paying attention in different kinds of environments. Parents will say to me, when you talk to them one-on-one, you can get a lot of information out of them, they're focused, they're in tune, and they're very easy to talk to. But then if you watch them, like with another friend, they'll be better. They'll be okay. Not better, but okay. Put them in a group of 3, now all of a sudden the dynamics of conversation has changed. And they're not only having to tune into the person that they're speaking with, but also then another person. So their attention has to shift from person to person and within their own ideas and thoughts and processes that are happening in their mind too. So now you're adding a different dynamic to the conversation, to the language retrieval, and to the attentional issues. Now put them in, let's say, a classroom where students are moving around. It's a transition time. They're getting ready to go home. They're starting to pick up their planners and pack up their backpacks, and the teacher is giving a direction, like, don't forget to turn in your permission slips tomorrow, otherwise you won't be able to go on the field trip. And Marvin, remember, that's you. And Marvin is one of those that's having attentional issues, and he's so distracted by the noise that's happening in the classroom. And it's not out of control, it's not unreasonable noise, it's just typical transition noise, but he doesn't tune into it. And it's not the fact that he doesn't tune into it, it's that his brain hasn't prioritized what's important to listen to and what's not. Pencils tapping, rustling, feet on the ground, chairs scraping against the floor, backpack slamming on the desk, teacher's voice. Out of all of that, students that have typical attention strengths will pay attention to the teacher's voice. They know that he or she's voice is important, and when that person speaks, they tune in. Marvin doesn't have that. So Marvin goes home without the permission slip and doesn't get it signed. And the teacher then starts thinking about whether or not Marvin is motivated. It may not have anything to do with motivation, but more to do with his ability to pay attention in an environment that has many different sounds. Now put him in a lunchroom where the lunchroom attendant is screaming orders across the room. Marvin, there's a milk carton down by your feet. Make sure you pick that up before you leave. And Marvin doesn't hear it. Marvin gets up and leaves, and now all of a sudden he's a defiant man because he didn't follow directions. When in fact, maybe the lunchroom monitor was too far away. The noises were combating too much, and again, the voice did not stick out as priority. The other thing that can be happening, I see it when I coach youth basketball, youth volleyball, is I could be giving a direction to a large group, and there may be some balls bouncing. There might be some chatter from another group of people at the other corner, and I don't catch Marvin's attention, and he doesn't really hear what I say. If I'm going to make judgments about Marvin, I could say that he's unmotivated, he doesn't care, he's not listening, it's not important to him, he just wants to do whatever he wants to do, when in reality it has to do with more his attention control system. How much effort it takes to control his attention in environments that have a lot of distractions in it. And so in those situations that I've talked about, if we know Marvin has attentional issues, then after we give the whole class direction, and even when we get their attention and they're looking at us, I'm going to walk by Marvin and check. Marvin, what are you going to do with your permission slip? Oh, I have it in my planner, so my mom will sign it so I can go to the field trip tomorrow. And so we're starting to cue Marvin. Marvin, we're going to be talking in a huddle. I want you to stand in front. And it's hard for the adult because you have to be tuned in a little bit more to what's happening around you while you're giving directions. I tend to talk to the Marvins ahead of time and say, Marvin, when we're in a huddle, I want you standing right next to me. Because then he's closer to me. I can have my hand on his arm to help him focus, to help him know what I'm saying right now is important. and I can check in with him quickly without embarrassing him about what it was that he needs to do. And if it's something specific I want Marvin to do, Marvin, you are guarding number 13. I say his name, Marvin. I wait for him to look at me, and then I give the directions. You're guarding number 13. Who are you guarding? 13. Got it. So it's just a matter of trying to give a little special attention to people that may have attention control issues. And it is something that with practice and experience that they can improve on. But it does take an adult that's aware of the issues and that can help pinpoint Marvin to those times that are more difficult to him, large groups, noisy environments, and to help teach him some of the things that he can do to help his attention and his attention control. Once students are aware of it and they're bought into improving it, then you're going to start seeing improvement. But remember that we're talking about children. We're talking about people. So it's not a product that we can just put on the assembly line, alter, with a couple of turns of a screw, and then they're fixed. It's about experience. It's about problem solving, processing, giving them time, having them feel worthwhile and important. Because I'll tell you, I know that the Marvins out there a lot of times don't feel connected and they don't feel important.